世界に銀河に広がってく、それがいつか風となり消えて新たな日が始まる。越えてゆく時の輪の中で確かに刻みつけたきらめき、同じ空誰かが見上げてる信じたから
aren't streaming anything.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're joining you here at the Blue Otter League for week number 7. Big games upon us. This is going to be starting out with Min Superior versus Drop Dead Gaming. My name is JJ, joined by Wookie Monster for some epic League of Legends.
But I've been replaced? What do you mean, Cherry?
I read the wrong names. I'm out of it today. You know, Feedonomics, it's been a long day, but you know what? I'm ready to get straight on into this. I've been wiped. That's all there is to say about it.
He doesn't even have his glasses on. He's a tired boy today.
Oh, I need to get those actually. Low key. Yep, we're doing that right now.
I'm gonna get them between the next break, but I don't really need to read anything right now, so we're good to go. Yeah, I mean, we're just waiting to start the game. It's going to be DDG versus... Let me get back to the schedule so I can actually read the code name right. I don't want to be a jerk. It is going to be MINT Superior. I will say MINT Superior in some minutes, right? First 3 times. We're good to go. Have dogs beating each other up in the background. I apologize. You guys need to calm down. Easy, thank you.
Oh, Akali gets banned out, so I guess Drop Dead Gaming possibly looking to pick that up and really going for some AP bans already with that Rumble to follow it up. So they're really pinching down some AP. Let's see whether or not that's going to be the same from the opposite side. Answer's going to be no, with some assassinations characters getting taken off the board with that Tristana and that, Corki. Both teams looking to get some bot lanes down, and Bessa's going to be banned out. That takes a little bit of the pressure away, but we'll see what that can really lead to us when it comes to the picks, and there's the Gwen as well.
Make sure my dog doesn't start beating each other up again. Alright, so looking at bans and picks, I mean, yeah, I kind of agree. I do like seeing the Quirky and everything taken out. He's been pretty strong, pretty well picked in all of our series, right? Like, we've seen him pretty often. At least one time, well, I mean, it's only going to be one time in Bravery, right? But, like, he's been on multiple weeks picked, like, in our streamed matches at the least. So I can only imagine that he's getting picked pretty often in this bracket. Jin's coming down, so there we go. I'm kind of liking the, I just really like Jin. I think he's fun.
Jin is cool, because I like the Jin ultimate, not gonna lie. It's an easy one to remember the name of. It's an easy one to get value out of. There's the Jace to follow it up. Lots of J characters coming out already from Drop Dead Gaming. I don't think we've seen a Jace from them either.
Like Drora and Jarvis, like over on the other side too. So a whole lot of J names at the moment. Wukong though, it's straight up Wukong. Jolivet though.
Volibear getting picked up and possibly put in the jungle, possibly put in the top lane. I'd imagine top lane would be a little bit more sustainable. However, who knows? Zillion's going to be banned out next just to get those supports off the back of their threats. And now there's the Rakan as well. Following up on that, it will be a Tarek really going for some support bans. And now to conclude it, we'll just have to really determine what will be the option. And it will be a Bard, so really going for those support options.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, obviously support hasn't been picked out over there on the other side, right? And they had their first selection, so it only makes sense to kind of try and, well, it's the other way around. So they locked in the support. Sorry, it's dogs. Man, I don't know. They just don't want to deal with like a stall ult like Zillion's ult or Bard's.
I like Jax. Jax is fun. And honestly, I was kind of thinking it was going to be an Aurora in the top lane. However, with that Jax, it seems a little bit more likely that it's going to be in the top side. Maybe the Wukong and Jax are going to swap. We see Wukong top, Jax jungle. That's always something that is an availability, but I'm not sure how likely that's going to be. Ryze getting hovered as the final pick, and it does seem to be locked in. So, an interesting idea to go into the mid lane maybe top lane. Who knows? Certainly a pretty standard composition from them though, with that Jace likely going to be locked in topside, putting that Ryze in mid, just gonna work everything out like how one would expect. But who knows? Maybe they got something crazy cooked up for us.
I honestly think that it's going to be the other way around, and that it'll be Jace in the mid lane and Ryze in the top lane. I think Ryze, I mean, I may be crazy and just out of the meta now at this point. I think Ryze has a little bit more survivability in the top lane. Like, you know, based off of chat, it's the player's pocket pick, but Ryze is the better top laner than Jace, like 110%, and I really feel like Jace is the better mid laner, like 10 times out of 10. Just because of the damage Jace can lay down onto the squishy like mid laners more often than not, and then Ryze just has so much survivability and setup with his stuns and like how much damage he can actually do for what seems to be free every now and again. But you know, we'll have to see how it works out once we actually get the laning. But I mean, I'm excited.
Yeah, I like this. I think that you're probably right on that one. I don't know what I'm still back in that 2022 meta of Jace top every game, but yeah, certainly gonna just have to wait and see, because we're gonna go to a short little break. We'll be back right in a couple minutes with our game number 1. So ladies and gentlemen, don't go anywhere, don't change the channel, because this is gonna be a strong game to determine who comes out on top of this division. Welcome back. Oh, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're joining once again on the Rift, ready for game, and this is where the action's really going to get heated. Once again, join me, not Wookie Monster, but Feedonomics on the mic for game number 1. Big game ahead of us. And I want to get some predictions. You think any invades could possibly come off of this?
I mean, looking at all of them kind of grouped together, pushing in like this, yes, absolutely.
Minions spawn.
Yeah, they're really risking it for the biscuit here.
Yeah, Vertigo's going. So nothing bad there. Ooh, game's over. Advantage over to Drop Dead Gaming. Gold is done. Never saw is about to get first blood. Or first blood drawn here in a second too. Not first blood. No little Q. That's fine. Put me down. No big deal.
Minions have spawned.
Yeah, no, I mean, just kind of an attempt at an invade, but nothing going on. You know, everybody gets to share the 15 or whatever gold, so that was pretty cool. But it doesn't move any needles, right? Ooh, this is sneaky, though. They gonna walk in behind them? Nah. Okay. That would have been neat, though. They were just hoping they'd walk down from the bush, I guess. That would have been,
I don't even know how much value that would have found.
No, that would have been a summoner spell for sure.
I mean, I'm just thinking like early game Varus versus early game Jhin. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'd at least with the Nautilus seems a little bit stronger.
I mean, yeah, probably, but like the whole point is to get Jhin before he gets 4 shots off.
That's
like,
true. That is really true.
You get 2 autos immediately with Varus, and then like Q goes down, or maybe an E to sit there and neutralize the what's the summoner? It's the gift? No, it's Clarity. Or no, it's not Clarity. Good God, it's Cleanse. So I don't know. The Cleanse would have been very automatically, maybe.
Ooh.
That's all that you were trying to do there. Ooh. This is gonna be
Maybe a kill. Ooh! That's a really nice flash. That really pays off dividends. Good stuff from Brandy Fam, and Evil Troy possibly not gonna be in the best situation. Able to connect the root, and with all the minions hitting him, gonna really not be liking that if you are this Jax. Akira How gonna be in a rough spot, but Evil Troy not much of a better one.
Yeah, no, I mean, the lane's just gotta play out for a minute. I think Jax has a little bit of an advantage early whenever he can just jump Q on Ryze before he has his whole kit, but once we get to like level 5 and level 6 and Ryze has like 2 or 3 Yeah, we're back. Yeah, I mean, we just have your average laning going on right now.
So far, we do get to really see this bot lane taking priority in favor of Drop Dead. And maybe they'll get an even bigger lead with a lot of extra damage coming out on top in the top side. Akira How going to be pushed to a low HP line, however, not low enough. We do get to see back in this top lane again. This Volley Bear starting to maneuver themselves over towards mid.
Right there.
That was a lot. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're joining you once more for a little bit of post-game from game number 1. We unfortunately did get a bit of a disconnect and did not get to witness everything that we would have liked. However, we're going to go straight on over into the stats from last game.
Yeah, I mean, it was it was a really good game actually. Looking at it, man, did Rise do a lot of damage, right? Like a whole lot of damage. Kind of, and that's sort of what I thought that he'd be able to do. We saw it a little bit in the lane. Like Jax was able to bully to start, but as the game continued on and Rise started to get a little tankier, then I'm pretty sure that that's when the problems started. And like, if you just get rolling on Rise, like he can just become a big problem really fast.
Yeah, here we go. I believe we will be seeing some of our post-game stats right up upon us, and yep, there it is. As we can note, it was going to be a victory for Drop Dead Gaming, taking the win, and honestly, they did it pretty satisfyingly. Now, we look at some of this, and you kind of do have to mention this Aurora in the mid lane. Certainly a monster, along with that Varus down in the bot side, both of which putting up a really good performance, just not shy enough to beat up against that Rise, who went 8, 7, and 8, absolutely dominating their game.
Well, no, and it's like you look at it, right, and you see that Mint Gaming sort of had the advantage with kill participation and kills, right, like across their team, but maybe more solo kills on the side of no, less solo kills. There's only 25 kills there. But more gold. So that's got to be objectives. I'm pretty sure I have a second screenshot, but I'll look at it really quick while you all do that.
Yeah, some of the other things we can note is that Varus, who really did put up a good performance. However, the Jhin on the opposite side also went 9 and 3, really just showing how both of these bot lanes really were that determining factor for their teams. So I believe we're going to be going straight into the draft in just a little bit. Not sure if yep, there we do have it. And yeah, I'd like to see what these teams do have cooked up for us. Very standard compositions on that Mint Gaming side, running that Misfortune with the Rel on the bot side. Probably going to be that our Rel in the top, Pantheon in the mid, got a lot of fighters combo with them, and then maybe we'll see the Maokai jungle come out too. So on the opposite side, very different to say the least.
You know what I see in this team comp over here on the side of Drop Dead Gaming?
What do you see?
A whole lot of ultimates that Silas is gonna enjoy using on Mint Gaming against themselves. Silas has a lot of fun ultimates that he gets to abuse this game. Leona is also going to be a force to reckon with. If they're actually, that dive comp is terrifying. I don't even know if Leona has to dive. I think that she can actually just sit there and peel for Senna the whole time if they want, and she just uses the ultimate to get in. I don't know. I just really like DDG's draft. Not to take away from the comboing potential that is on Mint Gaming. Their first 3 picks are actually able to break through pretty well with MF, Maokai, and Rel. Like those all can line up with themselves. Pretty good. Then you can follow up with a Grand Skyfall from Pantheon. And, you know, Aurelia's just been diving the backline the whole time. Better nerf Aurelia, right?
Yeah, that really is going to be rough to deal with for them, especially due to that Pantheon, who, as you said, is just going to be able to come in swinging with the idea of this. It's as you said, really. The Silas has a lot of options. The bolt time is going to be really good if everyone's grouped up. You got to go to Leona ult off, maybe connect onto 2-3 of them. On the other side, you could just use Maokai ult for the engagement. The Nature's Grasp is going to be really strong. Grand Starfall as well is super good for the engage. Just in general, this Silas is going to be having a field day when it comes to just really utilizing everyone's abilities on their opposing.
I mean, yeah, assuming that he's going to be able to do it, right? There is a bunch of point-and-click CC over on the side of Mint Gaming, and maybe that's their strategy, right? Is like, Silas can't ult us if he can't move before he's dead, right? We all know that the best CC is the gray screen. So,
yeah.
Plus, we'll have to see where the ignites come from, if there are any at all. I assume Rel is going to be running it, and that maybe is going to be it. Also, so it's a jungle Pantheon, a top lane Maokai, and then a mid Aurelia. Is that what I'm looking at here? I didn't even pay attention to like the actual comps there for a second, to pay attention to it. And then over there on the other side, you have a more traditional, you know, setup. Senna and Leona are going to be in the bot lane. Yorick is going to be the top laner. Silas will be mid, and Zinzal will be the jungler.
Yeah, I'd imagine that you could kind of flex some of these picks either way, especially that Pantheon and that Aurelia could probably go either lane for both of them. But I'd imagine that the Aurelia is going to be in the top side. I don't know if you have other feelings towards the matter, but for the most part, I'd say that, yeah, Drop Dead Gaming playing a much more set in stone with their roles, at least. Meanwhile, their opponents certainly could be flexing these three Maokai, Aurelia, and Pantheon kind of in place of each other. I mean, maybe not so much the Maokai, but who knows?
I like I said, I'm kind of firmly sitting on the side that Maokai is the top laner. And then you have the jungler being the Pantheon, just kind of in the same reasons that I was bringing up the Ryze top lane last time. The team comp, like the just power of the champion is better for that role than I would say jungle.
Yeah.
Right? Like that's going to be the only other role that maybe the Maokai would run. But then what do you do? Like I guess you can run Pantheon or Maokai jungle, but that changes who mid and top are, right? If Maokai isn't top, then it's going to be Aurelia, and Pantheon will be the mid laner. But they're not going to make the squishier of the two heroes the top laner, I don't think.
Yeah.
It's just that's not smart gameplay.
So we get to see Drop Dead Gaming, map 1. Now coming into map number 2, the question is becoming, can they close it out? Can they create this 3-game best of 3 swiftly ended in a best of 2? Or will we be going the distance? That's the question. But right now, we're going to be heading to a short little break. In a little bit, though, we're going to be getting underway with game number 2. Don't go anywhere, because this is going to be a one for the ages.
We'll be right back, guys.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're coming right on into the game in just a second or two. So, certainly a fun one right up ahead of us. Going to be a big game, and hopefully we can get back into it. But right now, Feedonomics, we're game two. Obviously, both these teams, they've had a really good season. So, what do you think? Do you think we'll be going to map number 3 here? Obviously, game one was very, very close. However, how do you think game two is going to play out?
I mean, so it's really interesting, right? Like, obviously, without seeing game one, I didn't get to see where DDG actually gained their gold advantage. I assume that it's going to be through attrition and objectives on like turrets and stuff. Like, maybe it was actually a really back and forth game because like we saw those stat lines on the carries, to where they were trading back and forth, and that 45-minute death timer was finally enough to let DDG break and push all the way through. And they got more turrets out of it, but that's, you know, like I said, I'm just kind of guessing based off of that. But that was definitely a wild and crazy loose game. Yeah. But I kind of lost my train of thought there. I apologize. We were just sort of looking at that through the lens, but I wasn't there. I couldn't see it. Like, none of us could see it. That is pretty unlucky, like we were discussing earlier. But yeah, I'm ready for League of Legends. Are you ready for League of Legends?
I'm very ready for League of Legends, and I'm also very ready to see these compositions come underway. Obviously, Irelia played in the top lane. We will see the Pantheon in mid. Besides that, no real crazy changes. So, let's see how this is going to play out for them. Obviously, we look at the map, and we do get to see a little bit of presence coming in for this red side. This is Jin Zhao. Really has to be careful because if Evil Lobster takes too much steps forward, it could easily get out of their grasp. So they won't do it. Instead, they're going to really play a very passive game, just go for their own jungle, not go for their opponents. And maybe I might be mistaken. Evil Lobster pretty pushed up here, and the Maokai is going to come out. Everyone comes out. How many stuns they have? Not going to matter. Flash comes out, and at this point, never saw. Already in the mid lane, trying to find some challenges and trying to find some early damage. However, they know that they can't push up too much with how Mint Gaming positioned themselves at the start. A early game contestant in mid would be a very rough idea.
It does look like I was wrong on the situation of the callouts, though, right? Is Maokai the jungler?
I mean, he has jungle pet, so
yeah, okay. Yeah, he's the Pokemon trainer. So I was wrong. I'll eat my just desserts on that one. So yeah, I mean, League of Legends. I'm ready to get into the action.
let's see. Obviously, we look towards the bot lane. Both bot laners in the previous game were very, very impactful. When it came to the end game, both players had, I believe it was 9 kills respectively. So, going into this game, you'd expect both of them to put up similar numbers, even though they're on a little bit less of carry champions with a Senna versus a Misfortune. Obviously, Misfortune can be really impactful, especially at that level 60 mark, once you have that bullet times unlocked. Meanwhile, Senna, more of a supportive bot laner. You have a global ultimate, but how much is that going to find you? Who knows? It's really going to depend on how well they can coordinate as a team. Obviously, with Evil Troy on this Yorick, they're going to be a little bit difficult to really coordinate with, since they're just going to be the one split pushing all game, trying to find a way into a turret. So immediately, that's your win condition. Putting them in the mid lane, switching up Silas top already. Guess they weren't too favorable in the matchup and decided they wanted to change it up.
Yeah, no, Silas doesn't like anyone like Pantheon, really. Like, anybody that can actually fight Silas before he has 2 or 3 levels into W, like, he doesn't want anything to do with. I don't know if that's going to be better, like, with an Aurelia, to be perfectly honest, but that's not here nor there. Pantheon has the easier way to just deal a chunky amount of damage immediately with the 5 stacks on the queue. Oh, no, go ahead. I'm just kind of watching around. soon.
Oh yeah, I was just gonna do the same thing. But we will see a bit of an engagement coming out with this stun coming all the way in. Rel trying to make something, but Auntie not able to get much whatsoever. So we are just gonna have to keep watching and waiting. How well is this game gonna go for both teams? I mean, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think we might have even seen some substitutes coming out after game 1 into game 2. Not totally confirming on this, but his bot lane seems a little bit new. Bubster going to be coming into the fray, and how much are they going to be able to get on this Misfortune pick? That's the question, and obviously you got some very big shoes to fill, because that Varus from the previous matchup, along with those Jins, certainly put up a massive performance. So when you have a Jin on your team and you don't have it anymore, it kind of does really limit that early game pressure and just kind of instant just piercing you get onto your opponent. But going into the mid lane, we do see both junglers starting to reach their developments, and maybe they're going to start fighting. Obviously, getting that isolation might possibly do Evil Lobster in, but not just yet. Airborne and a little bit of damage. How is going to go a little bit low, but they're still staying alive and angry. Neversaw is going to get a bit of an advantage, but they miss out on their E. That leads Fortnite to want to try and contest, however, not able to find the kill. Sun comes out on, and oh, this Rel not even get anything, and it's actually so rough. Wait, they're gonna get the kill, and that's first blood already for Drop Dead Gaming. They want to go for a second, absolutely dominant, and they're going to be able to get it by the looks of it, forcing the flash, but they expend one of their own.
Yeah, no, really well played. Also well played in the mid lane to be showing up as the teleport is finishing. But Maokai was nearby. It'll be an easy cleanup. Yeah, they did. They swapped around. They swapped bot and jungle, I think.
Yeah, I was a little bit confused on that. Well, I think Vertigo was on jungle last game. But
Oh, okay, yeah. So,
yeah,
no.
he was the one who was in a bit of trouble early last game. This time though, they're going to be on the Maokai, a little bit less of a troublesome character since you're a little bit tankier than that previous pick. I believe it was the Wukong.
Yeah, definitely a little tankier, and I don't know, just fun champion all the way around. Really good.
Already get to see this top matchup coming in the mid side and the mid matchup coming in the top side. And hey, we get a replay too. Just get to witness some of this damage. Like Bubster getting so low. And obviously the Rel, there's a bit of damage capacity involved, but not nearly as much as you would like. And look at that connection from this support. Absolutely crazy. And now just coming straight back on into it. Neversaw is able to find the kill despite the lane swap into the lane swap. They still come out on top.
Yeah, Pantheon. I disrespecting Silas. Like I said, the levels are kind of there now, so he's going to have 3 points into W at this point. And sort of be able to trade back with that sort of 5-stack, Q damage there until he can get another 1 stack. I don't think he's going to take land, right? So that's going to also be problematic. No, he does have the Ignite. So he just needs that to secure the point.
Oh, Neversaw. Gonna be able to get some of the self-heal off. Has the E proc, will not intend on going for it. Instead, possibly some engagements coming out into the jungle. Vertigo a little bit enclosed, and they're going to be in a rough spot. Not able to connect onto the Golem, but there's the ultimate connection. Nature's Grasp activated. There's the Starfall, but not able to get too much, but Fortnite ends up getting the kill. And now Fortnite trying to get more, but it's a very tall task. Evil Troy's already at level 7. They already are going for everything, but it's just not there. Evil Troy gets called out by the opposing top lane, and that will do it. Fortnite's able to collect the kill. And a little bit too aggressive for Evil Troy. Gets called out, but Granny Fan with the global ultimate gets the kill.
Picks up the stack on the passive. Grabs the Pantheon. Really well played on that part. I wonder if his E was up. His E would help him there. Ooh. Silas. Silas, be careful. Oh, you're fine. You're fine.
Obviously, we did already see that ultimate coming out from the Silas when they were able to grab the Maokai, so they won't be able to connect that for a little bit. However, Fortnite's in the same boat. Neither have that up and running. However, there's the Hex Flash going in, trying to connect a stun most likely. In a 1v2 situation, it is definitely possible, especially now that Bullet Time is available at level 6. With the Serrated Dirk, they are going to be able to get a bit of lethality online as well. Going in, trying to start the engagement. However, now they see this Leona popping by, knowing that this is a difficult position to take.
Yeah, we'll see what happens again. Like I said, the lane swapping is just is so fun. But the matchups are kind of how I'd expect them to be with the way things are set up.
Oh, there's the Bullet Time, but they are able to stun it out, not give over the kill, but Bubster getting connected by the Q from this Senna. They might fall, but it's going to be Mr. Qism to get the kill despite that. Both bot laners fall. It's the supports just looking to punch each other and over again. They will concede that ideology, and instead we go to the mid lane. A great connection. They do have the ultimate, but it just doesn't find anything. And now they are going to go back. Mid was a bit of a disaster if you are this Silas, forcing your ultimate to be wasted like that. And now the Maokai is able to connect the grubs. We have seen this go 1-for-1 now in terms of each team's objectives. One having the grubs, one having the Drake. Very simple, very basic situation. We do get to see some replays once more. Never saw getting hit by the Grand Starfall. Now Fortnite gets the kill. Vertigo falls, and Fortnite, look at this. They just bait him straight on over. Evil Troy barely unable to connect the kill. They even use a flash to try and secure it. However, lurking in the shadows, it was Akira Howe who was just able to collect that kill and they save their teammate in Evil Troy from falling.
Yeah, I mean, that was I don't know. I would be kind of seething and mauling and mad if I was in that situation to where I wouldn't have been able to clear out Fortnite. Because the man was absolutely no health left. So I don't know. That's just an unlucky kind of situation and a really well played move on their side.
Oh, Vertigo might be in a bad spot once more. Going in for the engagement. Going to be dropping in the Nature's Crashers. Close to Irelia. Trying to get something more, but never saw able to come in. Grand Starfall gets rooted up, but it won't matter. Fortnite able to connect on to that engage, but they only find one. Evil Troy falls. However, a lot of summoner spells have been dropped, including the Ignite from Fortnite. They didn't even have the flash up and running. And Vertigo is able to back. Getting into spawn, getting the heals, and looking to try and possibly go for that Drake spawning in just a couple seconds.
Yeah, and Leona's now getting back down into the mid or the bottom lane, so we may see another kind of attempt at an engage there. Yep.
Ooh, and they get stunned up. A great Leona ult, and now this Senna's already back in the fray, looking to get the kill, but can they get it? That's the question. So many stuns just being stuck in place. Flash gets used, and
good dog.
as the flash gets used, Vertigo starts coming in, gets a flash of their own utilized, and they're going to be going in for the root. This Rel's really low. Can they fall? That's the question. The answer is just going to be no.
Yeah, but it did, well, I mean, okay, so it makes sense that 4 people are down there, right? This is going to be a straight rotation into Dragon over on the side of DDG. They are trying to do the thing that they did last game, which is sort of kind of have a stranglehold on the objectives, I think. Hurts Dragon. So, we get a couple of fun soul choices here in a second.
Oh. Mountain, I think.
Oh yeah, well, that one's mountain right now. But, like, I'm wondering.
Oh, you mean Permasoul? Oh, yes.
Yeah. That's
who
a
knows?
dragon. That's not the dragon soul, Cherry. Dragon soul is next.
Yes. I'm good at counting. I promise.
Are you? Okay.
I mean, what we have 1 + 1 = 2. After 2 is 3, and that's when the soul appears. Like, look at that. Doing math already. And hey, I know this one too. That means they're halfway up to a soul. And that's going to be an ocean soul. Look at that. Who would have guessed? Not me, that's for sure. I was thinking like, I was going to say I'm going to guess Hextech, but that might be a little bit too optimistic.
Oh, never saw. That was sick. Ugh. Canceling it with his dash from Protovelt. I love it. He said you're not allowed to recall right now. That was a lovely bit of BM. Just wanted to say I saw it. I see you. I recognize you. I call it out. It was gorgeous. Speaking of,
Fortnite might have been a bit of a misplay here. Ooh. Are they? Oh, there's the flash and there's the kill.
You feel like I'm a Silas boy. All right, flash. I'm trying to go in on Leona now.
A double stun is going to be really nice. I kind of think that this might be a bit of a death here. Bobs are trying to get away, and they will be able to do it. Now they still want to get the engagement off. Not going to be having a great bull time. Able to chunk away a little bit of the Leona's health, but the root still comes in. Now it's going to be another stun. Active, trying to get out once more. Barely able to get away with the scrape of their W. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, Senna and Leona is... I mean, Leona is just a good support, right? Like... And they enjoy having like a Senna to help them out. There's a lot of CC layering that you can do in that kit, right? As we just saw there. I mean, there's the one thing that they're doing is stacking their CC. And
possibly another kill to come out too. Able to get the ultimate off. There's the Starfall, and that's gonna do it.
Oh.
Able to get the kill, and Fortnite possibly going on a little bit too late there, and yep, that's gonna do it. They're not gonna care about no turret. They just go straight on in for the kill.
yeah, and I mean, really good juggle on the tower too, and not no hurt. And I never saw spot. So I don't know. It does look like instead of like the last game, it does look like DDG has actually got a pretty good handful on it this time. I'm not sure how it looked in the mid game earlier, just because of all those kills that were kind of on the other one. Oh, this is a good engage.
This is a great position to be in, and honestly, this Leona being a little bit too aggressive there, and possibly gonna just be found out without any type of reimbursement.
Oh, that was sick
yes
too.
Oh, that is tragic. We might see the Silas try and catch somebody out, but no, they're nowhere even close.
That was really good on Vertigo's part, to cancel Leona's E.
Yeah.
With you. Just throwing that out there.
Just to make sure there's no kills. Yeah, I mean, that would have been very tragic. And let's see. Next mid tower possibly to fall, but not just yet. We do know that the Rift Herald has been taken. It is in the hands of Evil Lobster. Where they want to drop this, I'd imagine they're going to want to put this mid, but bot lane would be a possibility. Obviously, the mid tower already down to a sliver of HP, so certainly something that might not be worth the investment of the Rift Herald. Meanwhile, on the bot side, we already see the Yorick starting to make their way down, and that rotation is going to lead to a turret really needing to be defended. And yep, that's going to do it. Mid tower in the mid side already broken to a crisp. And yeah, I'm going to go and just make a bit of a prediction. Oh, maybe they don't drop it here. Oh, yeah, that's going to do it.
No, I think it kind of.
Yeah, they're going to not even need it, because that, yep, the demolish effect is going to be able to place itself. Then Root comes in, stun's going to be there as well. The Leona ult is on the line, and there's going to be the kill. Evil Lobster able to connect it, and Nature's Grasp able to come down for at least a couple seconds. However, this bot lane needs to be defended, and we do see some rotation. Thorell and his Pantheon are both coming over, crashing right on into the tower, able to get a little bit of extra damage, but everyone is just starting to rotate away and back off into spawn.
Yeah, I mean, it was a pretty good defense. Like, Maokai and Rel did automatically clear out the board so you know they had that going for them. But the game is not looking good if you're on the side of Mint Gaming. Obviously, but you know, I just like being Captain Obvious. We have a 4K gold lead at the moment. It's getting bigger and bigger. Like we talked about, that dragon discrepancy is over there on the side of DDG already, and if they get Dragon Soul, like, I don't know. That's not a fun Ocean Soul play against team. All right.
Oh, Evil Troy gonna be able to capture him right on in the midst of it. Fortnite barely able to back out, and as of now, Vertigo is coming straight on into the fray and going to try and possibly connect into it is gonna be the Rel. Akira Honor not able to get too much, and they are gonna just back off. Over on the bot side, tier 2 tower already being broken. There's the third Drake as well on Soul Point. Certainly seeming like Drop Dead Gaming has this game in the grasp of their hand, but can they conclude it? That's the real mission, and as of now, with a tower going outside of their favor, it's definitely seeming a little bit less likely. Otacon's going to be spawning in a little bit, and obviously neither team really prepped for it, but it is something you might want to consider, especially if you are Drop Dead Gaming. You could possibly say, let's concede Otacon, grab an Ocean Soul real quick. In straight up team fights, an Ocean Soul doesn't give you too much of an advantage due to that health regeneration effect. However, it can really pay off with interest if you can get it super effectively.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Ocean Soul is I mean, the regen on damage is actually very good. I mean, I like it a lot. I think, I don't know. Obviously, I'm kind of talking about the Dragons, best Dragons class. So, we do have Engage on Rel, but now we're kind of outnumbered.
Oh, this could be really bad. They're looking to be there. There's Vertigo able to connect on the Nature's Grasp, but a great ult coming in from the Senna. Full time, able to find almost nothing. Never saw us able to find first kill, and they will go and aggressive. Akira's going to be the option to get next, and they will be able to find a double kill off of it. There's another coming in from Granny Fan, able to take down Vertigo. So really good, able to take down the tank, and now everyone's going to be running for the hills. Flash gets active, but not before the root connects. Going in for more. Fortnite able to get connected on another stun and root, and they're just in the midst of everything. Brave Hand possibly to be falling down with that ignite connection, but not just yet. Tower, next option to kill, and with that demolish, they will get it done. Tier 2 in the mid, tier 2 in the bot. All that's left is that last tier 2 top tower, and after that, it is going to be a naked base that anybody can collect off.
Well, and the gold lead has more than basically doubled from the last time that I talked about it, right? Like, we have a 7,000 gold lead now. We are getting to the point of where gold doesn't matter, but 7,000 gold is still kind of a daunting difference, depending on how it's distributed. We'll check the replay out again. Almost looked really good for Mint Gaming to start, but I don't know. They kind of just got blown up once everybody collapsed over on the side of DDG.
Yeah, I think that they're like kind of, at least like from what I'm seeing, it just seems like they're trying to play for the bullet time. However, they're not going for any real stuns on it. So like you kind of have to just make sure that Rel's going to be the first one engaging, drop in that like just ultimate, and then after that you kind of just got to play off it. But unfortunately, they weren't able to really get it to full ton. Fortnite's now going to fall, and that's probably going to seal the game. I mean, you could most likely just run it down because that is like the majority of the kills on one player dead. Vertigo having a really good push away onto Neversaw, however, it won't last for long. Kill goes down, seeming like it. They will be able to drop in one little bit of fortification, but it's just not enough, and that's a 3v5 if you just want to run it down mid. But they don't seem to want to do that either. They're going to go up for the top tower, and they do have some minions to play behind. So we're only 21 minutes into the game, but it definitely seems concluded already.
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of just a systematic, like, dismantling on the other side of DDG, right? We've got, once again, gold lead is still continuing to decline. Like, we are at 10,000 20 minutes into the game, whereas the gold, you know, I don't know, man. This is just, you're just in a bad place right now if you're over on the side of Mint. I do have to say, you do kind of have the team comp to be able to win if you get a good wombo. But I'm afraid that we may be out of time to be able to actually do enough damage with Misfortune.
Yeah, 1 and 3 is not good.
Well, I'm more looking at Youmu's and Collector.
Oh, that is also a very good point. A lot of lethality, and I like it a lot, but it's not enough to get killed, so it's gonna be a little bit weak. Once you really just like go all in on that Senna, you're gonna be like very lacking when it comes to finding kills.
Well, I mean, and I think that was the only issue, is just the building order. But
Yeah.
like, I don't know if you had any other path to actually take this game. And you didn't get online before they got on, right? Like that double kill was rough in the beginning.
Oh. Move over to the mid. Vertigo's going to be the front of this Trident that they want to bring in. 3 players over here, and already bolt time's going to be activated. This is a really good bolt time, getting a decent amount of damage onto Evil Lobster. Not enough to find a kill, but it's good enough to try and get an engage on Fortnite. However, getting completely burned down. Now the engagement moves over to Bubster, instantly shut down and destructed. Neversaw is able to get into the fight, not even needed, and they still pick up the kill and possibly pick up the win just off of that.
Neversaw has flash here. Expect Neversaw to E flash ult. If anybody actually shows up to contest. But I don't think Aurelia is going to. Like, they're just going to let the base fall. This is going to be game 2 to DDG. This game looks far different from the last one. In terms of just how the game went. So, man, like, definitely way different from the last game. There's the thing. So, oh. Counter engage.
Yeah, certainly a much different tone than game number 1, where both teams were really online. Both teams were certainly putting up a great performance. This time, it really was Neversaw who put up a game of a lifetime. Absolutely dominating in that second game with 7 kills, 1 death, barely faltering at all, and really just putting that team to work. When it came to having those ultimates in hand, they were nothing but on par, and it certainly seemed as if Neversaw was the MVP, at least in my eyes. How the entire team performed up to a phenomenal level.
Neversaw game 2, Evil Troy game 1.
Yeah, that's fair. That's very fair.
So top and mid kind of get it in my book for them. But yeah, I mean that was a really decisive game 2 that we watched. And I think that draft is kind of one of the reasons, obviously, that they'd sort of blown out like they did there. Like chat was talking about, that really was a clean CC team. You have technically four CCs in bot lane, 11.
Yeah, it was nuts.
Once Leona hits level 6. So, and you have 3 in lane before then at level 3. So that's kind of filthy in its own right. Xin Zhao has a knockup. Yorick has his cage. He doesn't actually have a real CC, but he does have immobility. So yeah, that was just really well drafted on the side of DBG. I think Mint Gaming played a really good game 1. I just don't think that their plan got online quick enough in game 2. I think that their comp could have worked. They needed to actually get ahead and stay ahead. And they just kind of had a couple of bad beats.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. Unfortunately, that is going to do it, though. We did not get to see much of game 1. Game 2 was very one-sided almost the entire time, so certainly a great game for the side of Dropkick Gaming. Mint, they are still in the running for a playoff spot and definitely able to get it. However, that is going to do it. What? Oh,
we're still going.
Oh, okay. Well, we are going to be still going in here, and yeah, I mean, you just look at this, and it really does show how good everyone on this team was. Evil Lobster with a phenomenal KDA of 5-1 with 11 assists, really just showing how Xin Zhao is just one of those characters where if you get on a line, you can really carry a game.
I'm just sort of the only thing that I'm sort of focusing on and paying attention here is sort of that gold discrepancy. And I kind of on my game 1 stats, so that I can sort of do the same thing. But Leona has 3,000 more gold than Rel. That's a whole item, right? I mean, that's a support item in a ruby crystal.
Yeah.
Almost. Maybe I'm lying. I don't know if there are any 2600 support. I won't sit there and take that. But You get what I'm saying. Like that's a really good amount of gold disadvantage, right? And then we got MVP prop. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
some of the highlights.
I'm waiting for
game,
the highlight thing to change out. Yeah, here's the double kill from the beginning of the game, like we were discussing earlier. Recoverable at this point, but that kind of set the tempo and tone for the game, right? And that was followed right up with Never Saw getting his own sort of kill once he had everything, so that he could do all the damage. This honestly was a really good like fight over on the side of Mint. Like Mint had the ability to play these fights out really well. You have Troy flashing in to try and finish, and then Fortnite flashing over. We can all see that. And then obviously like the cheeky here to secure the
Yeah, that was a really good play. Just the intuition of knowing exactly when to get there if you are that Aurelian. Not too soon or else they're going to run away. Not too late and then your teammate dies. It was a perfect play from them. So certainly some great stuff. Next up, we got some highlights of our supports over here and just showing that it's not just those 80 carries who matter. It's everyone on the team that's going to put in some effort. Over here, we get to note some of the other engagements, and it really was just so dominant in these team fights, not letting any kills be conceded, with Fortnite just constantly being shut down. And I mean, no stress to them, because they certainly put up a great performance. It just was so difficult to really get away from this snowballing effect that had already been created. So yeah, you can't really blame one player. You can't really thank one player. It's a team effort. It is League of Legends, as we all know. So yeah, we constantly saw some great plays such as that, with the locket getting dropped in immediately, not able to get a whole ton, almost looking like a kill was going to be found, but unfortunately the bullet time just wasn't able to provide enough damage just yet in the game. So it really was just so sad. Next up, we get to see some more, and it's just constantly Never Saw versus these mid lane, top lanes, anybody who tries challenging them, and Never Saw on the Silas, certainly showing why this team was in that top 3 position in the Blue Water standings in the Master Division. Just because how good this player was, it really does show how this team created such a good position for themselves.
Yeah, no, Silas loves to have that 1v1 situation. We will say, however, that the MVP is going to be Mr. Kiwiism. And I assume that's going to be from plays that they were making in the bot lane. Like, you did have a lot of really good kind of stun cancels or engages over on the side, and like we saw from the highlights, we saw that the suspicious that maybe shouldn't have hit, but small indie company hitboxes. You can never trust them.
Yeah, it really was just insane how this Leona constantly just changed the tempo of this game, and you really do have to give it credit where credit is due. So that is gonna do it for us, I believe. And yeah, I mean, after seeing this MVP, you gotta give him credit, give him a shout out in the chat, something like that. Make sure they know everything that they did today was worth it, because today was a good day. You know, they ended off a very strong map 1, going back to back with map 2 that was a lot more dominant. But that's gonna do it. Feedonomics, you got anything before we head out?
I'm just gonna say stick around. We might raid another stream after this one. We appreciate you guys hanging out. I can't wait to see you guys in week 8 or sooner. And then all I gotta say is good night. I'll throw it back to Cherry so he can really say goodbye.
Yep, thank you so much. And that is going to do it, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much to our lovely producer, Maria, something like that. I can't pronounce things. I said Gap, but I meant to say Yep. It's just completely out of it today. I accidentally said so many random people today. But yep, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to check out more Blue Otter League this week because we got games coming at you Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I believe Friday too. Might be wrong about that one. Who knows? However, that's going to do it for us. Make sure to stay tuned for more. We'll see you later. Good night.